Welcome to the Facebook Marketing Ninja Podcast with your host, Manuel Suarez.
Hello, this is Manuel Suarez, podcast number 7. Okay, so today I want to talk about, I obviously have like a million things I want to talk to you guys about, but we definitely don't have enough time for a million things, and I don't think you guys want to sit down and listen to me talking about something for a million hours. So we're going to keep on giving you guys little snippets of truth and data that you can apply and put to work and implement and see some results, so you can actually become a believer along the way, better and better on the process, just like I did, because I definitely wasn't a believer a few years ago. I've been on this route maybe 3.5 years, and getting good at it and working on learning more every day and expanding my areas of knowledge and expertise. And it's been a consistent process, and it keeps on evolving every single day. I mean, every day I basically discover how much I still need to learn, basically how little I know. So like I meet a lot of entrepreneurs, I meet a lot of like-minded people, and I do realize the power and the potential that we have in front of us, and that most people don't really fully grasp how special this time is. But we have a lot to learn. Me and anybody out there that considers themselves a professional, the moment that you stop learning is the moment that you start going downhill. So personally, like, I would definitely advise you, always keep on figuring out ways to learning more and discovering more things. Like right now, particularly today, 2017, November 27th, that it is today. It's a day that I'm actually learning so much about things that are coming big time in the future. Like, for example, one thing that I'm really into right now is messenger marketing, which is getting big and is actually accomplishing a lot of incredible results. And we'll get to that later on, because that's a whole nother subject by itself. It's very connected with Facebook and Instagram, but it's an individual thing that needs to be handled as such. It's like a separate platform. Today I want to cover like an area that a lot of people have questions about, and that's whether Facebook platforms, Instagram, Messenger, all those platforms are actually correct for marketing a product, or are they actually only correct for a particular brand, or are they only for branding purposes? Or can a brick and mortar shop, a dentist office, a chiropractic office, a local services office, can they actually benefit from Facebook marketing? What kind of services or products will do good in platforms like Facebook and Instagram and Messenger? Well, the question is actually quite, it's a very simple answer to that. And it's like asking, what kind of food keeps humans alive and keeps humans growing? Well, basically any food will keep a human alive. That's the reality. Why? Because it's, it doesn't matter, like if you are starving and if you find yourself a raw animal that you would never eat in real life, but you know that it would depend on your continued existence, you would eat it. So food is gonna help anybody grow. So what do I mean that? What is the purpose of me saying that particular example or analogy? Well, Facebook marketing, it's a platform basically, like Instagram, Messenger, and Facebook. Again, when I say Facebook, I mean all of those things combined, that is being used by everybody. Now, when I mean by everybody, I mean like literally the great majority of the population is actively using these platforms. Like when you talk about numbers, you can say that 80% of the adult population in the United States are actively using the Facebook platform. And now you can also say that 45% of the adult population, and growing fast, is actively using Messenger. So these platforms, don't have any doubt whatsoever, they are controlling massive amounts of eyeballs. They have enormous quantities of people looking at them and actually doing things with them, and actually being entertained by them or getting information in them, etc. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. So all you got to do is learn how to use them, because the power in them is ginormous. It's incredible. I have had success marketing local businesses. I have had success marketing e-commerce shops that are only national. I have had a lot of success marketing international businesses. So it really just depends on what you want to accomplish. Because again, I have an agency. I help customers that have businesses, established businesses, get to the next level. And I cannot tell you that I've been successful with every single business that I've touched. I've had some failures along the way, and that's normal. Like, and particularly when I'm dealing with a company that is measuring me, just like the saying goes, like you're only as good as your last at bat, right? Or the other one that says like what have you done for me lately? So when a company is measuring me by those particular metrics, then many times I fail, because they want to get instant gratification, or maybe they're not set up to have a good portion of their money going to branding the organization, or maybe in some cases, in many of them, the markets are so small, the niche markets are so small that it's going to be expensive, especially while you're not branded on the platforms yet. People don't know who you are yet. So when that's the case, then it becomes a little more difficult to actually get the results instantly. Now, I have seen other brands, products, services that have instant results, instant gratification, but it depends. Now, a viewpoint that I will give you guys is that you have to have a long-term strategy and a long-term viewpoint about your business. Realistically, cash is going to keep you alive, so you want to make sure that you produce enough cash, whether it is like that you go traditional ways and you go door knocking, or you go and do one-on-one sales, or whatever it is that you have to do. But if you don't funnel some of that money into Facebook marketing, into Instagram marketing, into Messenger marketing, into YouTube, or whatever it is that you like, in the long run, you're going to lose the game, because that's where people's attention is at. That's where their eyeballs are at. So what's going to happen is, if you only concentrate on traditional media, meaning advertising on magazines, newspapers, radios, television, and you don't focus on modern media, meaning Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Messenger, Snapchat, etc., Twitter, Pinterest, all those platforms that are the modern ones, then in the long run you're going to miss and you're going to lose this game. Because if you ever stop doing that traditional advertising, which actually scientifically proven, it's declining at a rate that is faster than the speed that social media is expanding. So what does that mean? Like, in a couple of years, those traditional mediums are not even going to be available for you to market, because again, at this point, they are heavily overpriced, okay, still, and they're not getting attention. So when people are not watching commercials, they're not doing magazines, they're not, when you go to the office, start observing people are not actually, when they are waiting for their doctors, they're not actually like literally grabbing the magazines anymore. The magazines are there just as cup holders, pretty much. Nobody's touching them anymore. What are they doing? Observe. They are actually on their phones. They're actually looking at Facebook. They're on social media. 60% of their time on those smartphone devices is being spent on social media. So it's not a minor thing that's going on. It's a major shift in the landscape of attention. So if you don't focus on putting some of that energy that you're getting from your revenue, from your income, into these modern platforms, then in the long run you're going to lose this game completely, and you're going to put yourself out of business. So again, it's something that you cannot avoid doing. If you avoid this because you say, no, this doesn't work, or this tradition, the traditional method is the right way, or I just simply have to do what I know worked for my grandparents. If you do all of that stuff and you don't put attention on what's going on in the current landscape, then you're going to be in trouble. So the purpose of this particular episode was to clarify the point that social media advertising on Facebook, on Instagram, on Snapchat, on all these platforms is basically the future. It's everything. So that I'm talking about, like, for products and for services. It doesn't matter what it is. So If you have a local shop and you want to take people to your shop, you need to get yourself on Facebook. You need to continuously do something. One tip that I'm going to give you today, and the way to go about this is, what you really got to do as a business, whether you have a brand or whether you have a service, is document. Not be concerned about creating too much, not be concerned about the quality of your material, about doing something super high end, investing $10,000 on a video which is made by the top producers and directors in the top companies for branding. You don't have to be concerned about that. You got to start doing a documentation of what your product and your brand is, of what your service is. You got to let people know about your results, how your product changes people's lives for the better, how your services improves the conditions of other people because they are handling a particular problem that they have. It doesn't matter what it is, but you got to let them know. Social media, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, Facebook, Messenger, those are channels for you to let the world know how you can improve their lives, how you can make them better with your services, with your brand. Because that's what it is. If your product, if your service does not improve a condition that a person has, a problem that they have, whether it is that they are bored and they need entertainment, or whether it is that they need their taxes handled, it doesn't matter what it is, but your service, your brand handles a particular aspect of their lives. So social media has to be handled with the viewpoint that you're providing the world information, the entire world, information about what your company handles for them and how you can help them without you expecting anything in return yet. That's the viewpoint. Like sometimes people get obsessed about sales, and I understand it because cash is going to be king, right? Like they say, cash is going to be oxygen. The more cash that you got, the more the company survives and the more that you can plant your roots. But you got to understand that they have it upside down. If you focus on really helping people, in making their lives better, in improving their conditions, in fixing their issues and handling their problems, then the money is going to come back to you so strong that you're not going to be able to even handle that much money. So that's the viewpoint that you should have. The viewpoint that your job is to improve somebody else's condition, and in return, without you even asking for it, you're going to get money back. So whatever strategies that you have for your company, you have to make sure that you have social media platforms included into them. Media, it is the new media. It has replaced completely television, radio, and the traditional mediums. Now, social media is, for example, like when you look at your phone is a new television. So that is your new way to capture attention, except that this is a good thing. Keep this in mind. This is a good viewpoint to have. When you're doing social media advertising, realize that you have access to the entire country or the entire city or the entire planet, whatever you're doing your targeting, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. This is something that we've never had before. Before, if you did radio, you only had access to them when they were driving to the office, or maybe they were in the house doing some chores and work and they were listening to the radio. Or maybe they were on the bathroom taking a shower and listening to the radio. When they were on television and you were promoting on television, you only had access to them in the morning when they were actually listening to the news before the day got started. Or maybe you had access to them at nighttime when they were done with the day, already super tired and exhausted, sitting in a couch next to a bunch of other things going on, like kids running around and other activities and cars passing by, not like we have today. Now we have access through social media, smartphone devices, and the internet to every single human being on this country, and a lot of them in the planet, 2.5 to be exact. It's actually 3 billion people actually using social media platforms worldwide, okay? We have access to them 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. This is something that is not a little bit of a shift. It's a massive shift in attention. We can reach them at any time during the day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. So why are we not going all in on this? Why is digital advertising still underspending as compared to traditional advertising like television and other things? Well, again, guys, when we talk about one major thing, and that major thing is called opportunity. So long story short, what you guys got to do, if you haven't done so already, is you literally have to go and start creating an account and start learning about how to get this message out there. Because there's one single place that you need to get familiar with in order to advertise on the most powerful advertising platforms on the planet. When I talk about that, I specifically I'm referring to Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger, okay? So, in this particular example that I was talking to you guys about, if you go to business.facebook.com, then you can set up your business manager for Facebook and start learning about the platform, which I'm going to be teaching you guys step by step, a little bit at a time. But don't wait for me. You should actually just start getting obsessed about it, start learning about it, start getting your feet wet, and start putting something into action. You can advertise a Facebook Live. You can advertise an image. You can advertise a video. You can advertise an article. There's so many things that you can actually pay a little bit of money, anywhere from $2 a day, to actually put yourself in front of people that haven't seen you before. Doesn't matter if it's a service or if it's a brand. If you feel comfortable behind a camera, then you can do it yourself. If not, you can find somebody to do it for you. If you cannot find somebody, then you're gonna have to figure out a way to produce content that captures attention. Content is actually just basically distributing a message, right? We have written, we have pictures, we have video, we have audio. There's so many different ways to let the world know about your potentials and your abilities and how you can influence and help people. So again, to answer the question, like I've said a couple times during the podcast, it doesn't matter if you have an e-commerce, online brand or offline brand, or if you have a business that you can service people locally, nationally, or internationally. You need to learn how to use these platforms so you can take yourself to the next level. This is it. This is basically life. This is the future. This is how you communicate. This is how you get yourself in front of people. Now, what happens when you get a lot of attention? Very simple. You also get a lot of income. Income depends on attention. If you have enough of it, you make it. If you don't have enough attention, you don't make it. It's as simple as that. Okay, guys, so I'm going to be ending the podcast right here. And again, if you have any questions, or if you have any comments, or if you have any feedback, I want you guys to, whoever is listening, you can follow me on my Facebook page. I haven't done much on it yet, but I'm posting all my podcasts in there. I'm obviously really busy building my own agency and doing a bunch of other million things, but I'm going to be connecting there more consistently, and I will be answering your questions as much as I can. So if you want to send me a direct message on Messenger, you can go to m.me/Manuel Suarez Digital, or you can visit my Facebook page, which I just created a couple of weeks ago, which is fb.me/Manuel Suarez Digital. Super easy. So message me, m.me, and visit my page, fb.me/Manuel Suarez Digital. Okay, guys, so I hope to see you in the next podcast, and thank you for listening.